everybody, and welcome to JAWA with Chimamaka Adeniyi episode 2. Thank you all for your comments, likes, shares, and subscribing on my last video. Thank you so much. Made me so happy. I enjoyed it, answering those comments and everything. Thank you so much. So we've come to episode 2 of JAWA Chimamaka Adeniyi, and we're still on the segment of African queens you did not know. Today we'll be talking about a new queen named Yaa Asantewaa of Ghana. Before we go on, I want to say I really love Ghana. I mean, who cannot like Ghana? The vibes, the everything, the food, the people. Ghana is such an amazing country. I mean, I've not been there before, but from what I've seen and what I've heard and what I've read, Ghana is amazing. Mwah. I love my African countries like I like my food. Now, Queen Yaa Asantewaa, our idol queen of today, is a symbolic queen of the Asante Tribe, born to Atapo and Apoma from the Besis clan of present-day Ejisi in present-day Ghana. She was born in 1840 and was an influential woman. She was a farmer as well as an intellectual, very highly revered in the Ashanti society. She was believed by legend to have been given the title of Queen Mother because of the matrilineal aspect of the Ashanti. The Ashanti were known for having women as their rulers, so therefore it was easy for her to become Queen Mother. She was given this title actually by her brother Afrane Opase. Yaa Asantewaa, as the Queen Mother, was given the responsibility of guarding the golden stool. Now, the golden stool was an emblem of the Ashanti culture, power, and kingdom. It was very sacred and said to hold the sunsum, the souls of the dead and living Ashanti people. So it was very sacred. A Dweso stool line and Asano royalty. Now to the interesting part of the story. Okay, what happened was that in 1896, the Asante began to rebel against British attempts to make Gold Coast a colony. They did not like this, and they actually went over to the Gold Coast and razed down over 12 of a dozen buildings in the Gold Coast, that was already colonized by the British at that time. And to retaliate to this, they exiled the king of the Asante tribe and Yaa Asantewaa's grandson, Kofi Tene, all in a bid to acquire the golden stool. Wow. Now look at this. What happened was that they had a meeting. The representative of the Queen of England to the Gold Coast, Sir Frederick Hodgson, had a meeting with the chiefs of the Asante, of which Yaa Asantewaa was also present. What he said was that he had the right of the golden stool since he was the representative of Queen of England, and since the Queen of England was now the ruler of Asante, he insulted their power over the Gold Coast territories and said that he should be the one to be given the golden stool. Of course, the chiefs took this as a grave insult and wondered how this white man could have the audacity to come to their kingdom and say such a thing. While they were still contemplating on what to do, this invigorated Yaa Asantewaa, and she stood up and she was angry, and she said this. She said, "Now I have seen that some of you fear to go forward to fight for our king. If it were the brave days of Osei Tutu, Okomfo Anoke, and Opoku Ware chiefs would not sit down to see their king taken without firing a shot. No white man could have dared to speak to the chief of Asante in the way the governor spoke to you chiefs this morning. Is it true that the bravery of Asante is no more? I cannot believe it. It cannot be. I must say this. If you, the men of Asante, will not go forward, then we will. I shall call upon my fellow women. We will fight the white men. We will fight till the last of us falls on the battlefield." Wow. This was the statement made by the great Yaa Asantewaa before the Anglo-Ashanti Wars. And this statement has been kept in history throughout. Whenever you hear the history of Yaa Asantewaa, this speech must be said. Wonderful things she said. She both invigorated the men and challenged gender roles in the Asante tribe. So what happens with that? She, as the commander of the Asante tribe, led the rebellion with 5,000 Asante soldiers. She led the War of Independence, the Yaa Asantewaa War of the Independence, also known as the War of the Golden Stool, which is the fifth of the Anglo-Ashanti Wars that happened in Ghana. In this war, she killed over 1,007 British soldiers and allied Africans, as well as 2,000 Ashanti soldiers also. She was hereby the commander of the Asante army and led the rebellion that led to the eventual Ghanaian independence. Wow. Even though at the end of the war, she was captured and exiled to Seychelles, where she did die in 1921, she was a very important figure in the Ashanti culture and could never be forgotten. It's also said that after her death, when Ghana gained her independence, it led to independence of even Nigeria and Dahomey, present-day Benin Republic. That was amazing of her. I don't even need to feel anything. Yaa Asantewaa was a symbol of heroism, self-sacrifice, of everything that you could ever imagine in a black woman. It's so amazing. A black queen. She fought for the independence. She was so selfless, so brave, so courageous. Like all my black queens, she was just to die for. She was an amazing queen. I cannot imagine such bravery, such activism, and for her to even stand up and say, oh, the women will fight. You know what got it took? You know, it's easier nowadays for us to believe that and to accept that maybe a woman was a commander-in-chief of the armed forces or something like that. It's become something that we can actually call normal. But in those days where the most countries, most communities, most cultures are patriarchal, for a woman to be the commander-in-chief of armed forces of a whole country, that's so amazing. That's beautiful. And her selflessness, her bravery, her courage, for her to stand up and be like, what are you guys waiting for? Let's go fight. Look at this. And all she cared about was her country. All she cared about was her people. She is the true example of a leader, of a black queen. And I cannot imagine, I can't wait to, in fact, I want to go to the museum to see her one day. Epic. Beautiful. Wow, so beautiful. Sadly, we've come to the end of this episode of JAWA with Chimamaka Adeniyi, but stay with me. I'm coming with more queens with longer stories and more interesting stories. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, hit that comment button, hit all the buttons you can see except on like. And wait for the next one. Thank you so much. I hope now you know about Yaa Asantewaa of Ghana, and you can tell your friends any day. You know, see, look at this queen. This is the queen I know. Yaa Asantewaa. She was born in 1840, died in 1921. What a beautiful queen. Thank y'all, and see y'all next time.